Welcome back, everybody, for the Smoking Android. My name is Jared, and today we've got something to unbox or unpackage. The Pure Related guy showed up at my house, front doorstep, as usual, bringing me some nice new toys. Now, I'm not 100% sure what's in here, but I actually have a pretty good idea. The reason I say I don't know what's in here is because I have a whole bunch of other stuff coming to me within, during the next few weeks here. We're going to have a bunch of other product reviews for you guys. And a little side note, I'm actually starting to get into some other electronic product reviews, consumer electronic product reviews for you guys, just to kind of expand my palette, if you will. I love mobile phones. They're sort of my passion and first toy of choice. However, there's all kinds of other good stuff out there, right? So every now and then you'll probably see a review of something not phone related. Anyways, let's go ahead and open this up. Now, to open this bad boy up, I'm going to go ahead and introduce to you my newest collection to my knife collection. My newest addition to my knife collection, that is. And for those of you that are wondering, this is the CRKT Columbia River Knife Tool, model number M1601Z. This is the M16 series. I know a lot of you are going to be asking that because every time I bring a knife into my unboxings or unpackagings, I always get a bunch of private messages and comments asking which kind of knife this is. And this is a fantastic knife. Really great knife. Anyways, first time I'm going to be using this on camera here, so let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to go ahead and try and cut this without cutting my fingers because this is a razor sharp knife. Let's go ahead and get in here. Alright. Can put this off to the side. You'll notice the fail-safe sort of liner lock, so you actually have to push this little button down and then get the liner lock in there. I'm holding the blade by its sharp edge, so you don't want to do that normally, and then of course it just folds down. Really fantastic knife. Anyways, so now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and get this out of the packaging. And it looks like a mobile phone. What mobile phone is it? It's a Motorola. Boy, those guys over at Bell sure know how to package their products. Let's go ahead and get this open here. One thing I love about their packaging is that they always put in a ton of bubble wrap, which saves me a bunch of cash when I have to send these devices back. Because no, I don't get to keep these devices, unfortunately. Man, that would be fun. Can you imagine how many routing and ROM reviews I would have? Holy smokes. There it is. Motorola Atrix HD. I've been wanting this phone for a little while now to review. So I'm really excited and happy that it's finally here. And so let's go ahead and just go on a quick tour of the box. Unfortunately, it's already been opened, but it's a demo box, so that's okay. And yes, so as you can see here, Atrix, Motorola Atrix HD LTE. Fantastic stuff. What do we got on the back here? Slimmer, stronger, smarter. A bunch of stuff that we'll probably get into in a moment. What else do we have here? 4G LTE speeds, 1.5 gigahertz. Dual core. Awesome. 4.5-inch display with the Color Boost HD. It's ultra thin. We'll get to the size in a moment. And some smart actions. So I've been doing, my own little bit of research, so I know a fair amount about this. Alright, so let's go ahead and open it up. And there's the star of the show. Pretty sweet. Let's go ahead and put that off to the side for now. Move this insert out of the way. Charge me up. Make sure I'm fully charged before we start. Thanks, Tips. Alright, so first thing we have here is our headphones. I've never been a huge fan of the headphones that come with Motorola devices. They're just these little sort of earbuds. I'll take them out here for you guys so you can see. And so, I mean, it comes with some replacement earbud covers and a lapel clip. And here's our headphones here, as you can see. You can see those. It's kind of in focus there. So I don't really like these styles. Like I prefer the ones that come with Samsung devices. But I'll test these out and let you guys know what I think of them during the coming days. That I will be using this device as my daily driver for a full review. Of course, we've got our charging block, which looks a lot like the other past Motorola charging blocks, like the Motorola Atrix, the original 4G, and of course our data cable, which in my opinion, Motorola always gives us high quality data cables. keeps going. Man, I really need to let's do this again. There we go. So really high quality data cables, in my opinion. I've always liked that about Motorola. All right, so we've got those off to the side, and we'll just actually put those all back in the box so we can take a look at the phone itself. All right. So, it's still got the peel on it. Awesome. I love taking this off. Listen. Do you guys hear that? I know you guys don't care, but I do. And of course, we have our sort of cellophane sticky layer on the back here. And it's still out of focus. Boy, one of these days I'm going to have to invest in one of those new DSLR cameras that has the continual autofocus. So anyways, there is our DuPont Kevlar backing, which we saw on the Motorola Razer V that I reviewed. I like it. Put that all off to the side. All right, look at the phone. So what do we have here? Well, as size-wise, we have, I believe it's 133.5 by 69.9 by about 8.4 millimeters deep. Great feeling phone. Initial impressions, it feels like it's got some solid build quality. I really like the way it feels in my hand right now as opposed to the Motorola Razer V, which I actually still happen to have. Let me pull that out for you guys. And we'll compare the two in terms of physical attributes. Comfortability, ergonomics, that sort of thing. We still got some plastic here. Go away, plastic. So here we go. We've got the two of Motorola's latest devices. Motorola Atrix HD LTE, 4G LTE, I'm sorry, and the Motorola Razer V. No 4G or LTE, just HSPA+. Now, you'll look how similar they look, hey? Look at that. They both have the telltale Motorola humps, right? Both have the Kevlar, DuPont Kevlar, bit of a different pattern on the Atrix, the new Atrix, Atrix HD. And now one thing I didn't really like about the Razer V is that the edges here were very sharp. You'll see that they're not rounded at all. And maybe if I can focus it a little bit better for you guys, you'll see what I mean. As you can see there, you might be able to make out in the camera, the edge is very sharp as opposed to the Atrix HD, where it's nice and rounded. You see that? You've got to be able to see that on camera. So definitely that's a huge plus for me, is obviously comfortability. Those nice rounded corners, good stuff there. What else? So it's about 140 grams, a little bit heavier than the Razer V. However, honestly, I don't really care how heavy a device is. Just lets you know it's there, right? Some people don't like heavy devices because it clunks around in their pockets a lot, but I really don't mind. What else we got here? So a 4.5-inch display with the Color Boost HD technology. Now, this is a first. There's two firsts from Motorola here. The first is this is the first Motorola device with LTE capabilities. This is also the first Motorola device to have a 720p HD display. Yes, 720p. Gone is the way. Gone like the dinosaurs is the QHD displays, which we find in our Motorola Atrix 4Gs, which I happen to have on hand as well. You can notice that it's been nicely used. I definitely put this one through its paces during its day. And so, yeah, I'm really glad to see that, one, the display is bigger, and two, that the QHD display is gone. I was never a fan of the QHD display, personally. I know others are and have been. I'm not one of them. I just didn't like it. I don't know. Just wasn't high enough resolution for me. So what else have we got here? Pixel density, if we're still on the topic of the display, is actually a massive 326. 4.5 inches, 720p display, pixel density of 326. Really, 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 really nice. We do have a front-facing camera. Now, unlike the Motorola Razer V, this one has a really fantastic front-facing camera, 1.3 megapixel. Now, it would have been nice to see a 1.9 megapixel like some of the other manufacturers are putting in their flagship devices these days, because this is definitely, I don't know if this is Motorola's new flagship device. However, I would assume it is, considering the Atrix was a big flagship device for them, and this is sort of the next iteration of it, right? So that's enough for that. Of course, we have our headset speaker piece there. Of course, we're going to have our light and proximity sensors. Down at the bottom is interesting because it looks like this whole grill down here, this is like one big speaker grill, when in fact the actual microphone hole is right there. And it also looks like a speaker grill up here as well, but it's not. It's just sort of part of the design. So you're not going to have some crazy massive speaker up there or anything like that. Anyways, top of the device. Looks like we've got a micro SD slot. No, that's the micro SD slot, and this is our HDMI out port. So again, going back to the Motorola Atrix, very similar, as opposed to them being on the sides, they're now on the top of the device. It looks like Motorola is sticking with its HDMI out. I like that, because that means that, mind you, one thing I do want to note is that the box doesn't seem to come with an HDMI, mini HDMI cable. So that's a bit disappointing. The Motorola Atrix 4G came with an HDMI cable. Now, granted, this is a demo box, so I'm wondering if perhaps somebody just forgot to put it back in or decided to steal it. One of the two. Oh, here we go. Content. One cable. Yeah, so this does not come with your micro or mini HDMI cable. So that's really, really disappointing to see. Those cables can run upwards of around $40 to $50 from what I've seen. So, but nevertheless, really cool. So if you're coming from an Atrix 4G, then and you still have your cable, then you're in business. So anyways, very cool setup there. 3.5 millimeter headphones jack. Right side of the device, we have our well, it looks like we've got our power button on the right side of the device as well as our volume rockers. So that's also a first for me. Geez, I don't know if I've ever seen or played with a device that has all the buttons on the right side, or at least on one side. The power button does, however, have like what some of us call jimping. So it's got a bit of texture there to it, so it's grippy, which is nice. And the volume buttons, so now I don't know if you guys have watched my Razer V review, but I didn't like the buttons on it. I just didn't think they were raised up enough. They were just too sort of recessed into the device, whereas this one, it feels like they're very easy to find, very easy to press. So I really, really like that, and I'd actually like to see power buttons and volume rockers on the same side on more devices. I really like that. Everything you can do with your thumb. How cool is that, right? Obviously, if you're a lefty, that might be a bit of an issue, but but I'm not a lefty, so yay for me. Bottom of the device, on the back, I guess, sort of, we do have our noise cancellation microphone. And of course, since we are on the back of the device, we'll go ahead and talk about that. 8 megapixel rear facing camera capable of 1080p at 30 frames per second, like everybody else these days. Single LED flash, or flashlight, if you will. We've got our speaker grill. That's cool. I've always liked how Motorola puts these really sort of, they let you know you've got a speaker. Now, let's compare this to, let's say, the Samsung Galaxy S3 with its little miniature speaker there, which almost you can confuse for the LED, or even, back in the day when they put the mirrors on the back of the cameras. Anyways, so that's cool. And of course, we've got our DuPont Kevlar on the back there to, ward off scratches and dirt and stuff like that. It does have a 1780 milliamp non-removable battery. So it seems that this is a trend with Motorola now. No more removable batteries, so you can't purchase your extended ones or additional batteries in case you might need them. Disappointing there as well. And now internal specs, I believe we do have 1.5 gigahertz dual-core Snapdragon S4 processor. Nice beast there. We do have 1 gig of RAM, 8 gigabytes of internal storage, which is probably most likely around 5 or 4 actual user available, gigabytes of internal storage. And we do have our expandable slots on the side. So it looks like a micro SIM card, and we've got our micro SD. I didn't look into I can't believe I forgot to do this. I didn't look into how many gigabytes is expandable to, but considering it is a more of a premium device, I'm gonna just throw it out there and say it's 64 gigabytes expandable. But again, I don't really like the stuff being on the sides and these doors. These can break off, and then you're screwed. Plus, on the Razer V, I had a heck of a time getting the door open, just like I am now, as you can see. Real big pain in the butt. So hopefully you guys aren't hot swapping things too often. It shouldn't be much of an issue for you guys. Let's go ahead and turn this on really quickly, just to kind of show you guys what we're looking at here. refocus this for you. This does have, like I mentioned before, 4G LTE connectivity, and it is actually running Android 4.0. And from what I've seen, just like the Razer V, this Motorola Atrix HD actually has very stock, very AOSP Android. So that's really great to see. Again, probably, Google leaving an impression or, making some changes now that they've taken over Motorola. So, oh, here we go. So that's cool. Wow, right away I can tell you the screen is definitely very vibrant, very high definition looking. I do like it a lot more than the Razer V's display. The Razer V display, nothing, not too bad. But again, Razer V had a QHD display, and this is a 720p HD. So this is fantastic, and I love this widget that I've seen in other videos. Look at, oops, shoot. Okay, and of course we got our on-screen buttons, no more capacitive buttons, but we've got these cool widgets, analog clock and then digital clock. You can change the weather, add different cities. How cool is that? You got your battery stuff, and you can jump right into your settings from there. That's really, really neat. I love that animation of that battery widget. This is one whole widget, by the way, guys, which acts sort of individually of itself, which is kind of cool. One thing I'll tell you right now that I'm not liking is the massive bezel yet again that we have at the bottom. Again, that's just taking up screen real estate. This could easily be the on-screen buttons, giving us maybe another 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch of screen real estate. Again, that's really prevalent on the Motorola Razer V. Again, you can see there the massive black bezel down there at the bottom. Nevertheless, it is a 4.5 inch display. Really cool, running Android 4.0, so ice cream sandwich. But we're going to be using this for the next week or two to give you guys a full review. We'll let you know how it goes. This is a nice device, so I will be pitting it against the Samsung Galaxy S3, both international and North American versions, which I do happen to have on hand, and we'll kind of see how this fares against them. Anyways, guys, that's it for now. This is a really, really, really long unboxing video. I do apologize for that. It's more of an unboxing and hands-on video, right? So we'll see what happens with this device. I'm really excited to start using it. And yeah, stay tuned for the review and more videos on this. I will be doing some versus dogfight type tests. Dogfights. That's phonedog.com. Anyways, you know what I mean. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up down below. I really, really, really appreciate it. And if you haven't already, you might want to consider subscribing for more videos like this, and so on and so forth. So yeah, that's it for now, guys. We'll see you in the next video. Cheers.